Hi, welcome to another episode of Midlife Mavens, where we're stirring up new traditions. So, the holidays aren't just about keeping old traditions alive, they're also about creating new ones that fit with who you are now, with where your family is at now. As we talked in a previous episode, we may have adult children now, so that changes things a little bit. And in this episode, we are going to be exploring how midlife brings fresh opportunities to reinvent holiday rituals, from cozy solo celebrations to gatherings with chosen family. And plus, we're each going to share a recipe that we love and that we hope you will also share a recipe you love in the comments, because as we create new traditions, we might want to create new traditional foods we share.
hmm I know I do. I'm always willing to try something new, as long as it's not fish. Don't send me a fish recipe. Dip. No, keep your fish dip.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very yummy, but yeah. So there's that.
So in reinventing traditions, keeping some that, work in your family dynamic, but then there's also the ones that you kind of want to do something a little bit different, because once upon a time, there was all this stress around the holidays. Maybe there still is for you, but you're also in a position where you can start being the one to reduce the stress level. How do you do that? What works for you? In a previous episode, we talked about maybe outsourcing some of your meal, delegation stuff. And then, maybe you don't put up so many Christmas things. But today we're talking about like how we can take these Christmas traditions, or holiday traditions rather, and make them work for us. And, that it's okay that they evolve. It's okay that we do things a little bit different, and do a brunch. Denise and her family, they do a brunch instead of a big holiday dinner.
Mhm.
You can also, like my family, we travel, we take a trip. What works for you guys? What are you reintroducing into your dynamic, or introducing for the very first time to see, like, I'd like for this to stick and be our new tradition?
Right. Well, because my kids are all married and have their own families, and I am very blessed to be able to go stop by, see them. We all live in the same state, so that is fantastic. But the actual day of Christmas, a lot of times, we're all kind of, my friends and I were all our kids are adults if we have them, and we're like, well, what are we gonna do? We're like, nobody has any plans because everything happened before,
Yeah.
in order for everyone to get together, a lot of times it does happen before. And so then it's kind of like, oh, and I don't always know if I want to drive all over the place either. Even though I'm welcome, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
So a tradition that my sister and I are going to start this year, and I think it's probably going to stick, is we've talked about doing an open house, and having our friends stop by, having, a glass of cheer, or, a festive mocktail, or any of those kinds of things. Because, there's so many ways you can do things. Like I saw this reel, and it was how you could make a snow globe looking cocktail. And you took like rosemary, so it looked like the tree. You used cranberries, and then you put water in there and you froze it. And I'd have to find it. But so, anyhow, you do all that. Well, and then because you freeze it in the glass, and then you pour either champagne or sparkling water on it. And so
Yeah.
you've got the bubbles, right? So you could just do fun things like that. And when you have only adults, it makes it a lot funner to do that with, because hopefully nobody breaks anything.
Smart. So, we mentioned about recipes and like starting new things and what we want to hear from you. For me, one of the recipes that I do every single year is a very simple cookie recipe, and it has four ingredients, and they're the four best ingredients you could possibly have, and that is butter, sugar, flour, and salt. You put
That's
them all, yeah, you put them all together, and it makes a beautiful powdered sugar Christmas cookie. And you can check out the description and the recipe below. Uh, if I don't show up at Christmas with these cookies, my entire family would revolt. So they are an absolute must have, must bring, must gift as well. How about you, Denise?
I can't wait for that recipe. Well, one of the things that I like to always make is appetizers, because when there's appetizers, that means there's going to be fun. And one of the things that I like to do is a butternut squash. And I buy the already diced up butternut squash and dice it up even smaller. And so it's that, cranberries, rosemary, and you spread goat cheese on bruschetta, and then you sprinkle the rosemary butternut squash craisin on top of that and drizzle it with a little either balsamic glaze or a little honey glaze. So yummy. So yummy.
I am all over bruschetta. Like, yeah, yum.
I
Bread,
know.
bread, cheese, warm, gooey goodness. 100%. I'm eating it.
Yes, I know. I know. So we'll put those recipes in the
Yeah.
comment section so that you guys, and please do share what your favorite holiday recipe is because, hey, if we're holding an open house, we're going to need some appetizers because that's what says fun.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So another thing that we'd like to invite you guys to do is to share with us what tradition that you might be carrying through with you through this holiday season. I know in our previous episode we had talked about traditions and the shift of them, but food and holidays they go hand in hand. Um, and I would love to hear what everybody is doing, because as we're shifting and doing things a little bit differently in midlife, and what works and what doesn't work, and hear all about that.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So we would love to hear from you. What is a tradition that you are reinventing? Is it taking something like Denise's butternut squash that's typically served in a casserole and you're making it into something delicious and bite sized? Or is it that you're taking something, I don't know, a Chateaubriand and making that into an appetizer? I will 100% be there for that. Reinventing recipes, traditional holiday recipes, and turning it into something new is not anything, it's not rocket science, but it's definitely an easy way to like introduce it and to others, maybe in your work environment, or like Denise is doing with her family, doing an open house, which I 100% love that idea. But what do you have that you think you could take a recipe and reinvent and kind of make it just right for this holiday season? We would love to hear all about that.
Yeah.
And we would also love for you to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, because this helps us grow our channel. This helps us see, we're making an impact, and we're making friends across the ethers as well.
That's our motivation for doing this, is to share the rage that we might face in midlife, the love that we might face in the crying, all of the different emotions that come up with midlife. And we tend to be, at least me, a little more sensitive these days than I used to be. And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's not at all. All right, folks, we hope you have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.